That's for everybody else here. Lara Croft is about going to really cool places. We're going to see a new model here. Now, we were kind of amused about the press reaction and people's theories on why we changed her. The truth is, what we wanted to do is give her a much more athletic body, a lot more muscle tone, much more sort of believable in that she can do all the running and jumping that she does. We also, you can see, we give her a much more expressive face this time around. You'll notice that there's no interface on the screen, there's no UI. What we wanted to do is make a very immersive experience, a very sort of a platform to get lost into the world and really enjoy it. When you need to see the interface, it comes up automatically. If she takes damage, you see her health bar. You use items, it comes up, but after that, it just goes away, so we can have a much more seamless world. You'll see different items on her, her two guns, her belts, obviously magnetic grappling hook, that's new, grenades. Anything that Lara Croft can use, she carries on her body. There's no endless backpack, so just by looking at her, you can always see what she's using. Now, I don't want to give too much of the story away today, but I'll give you a little setup. We're in West Africa right now. There's a tomb hidden behind this waterfall. Lara has come here to recover some artifacts. She has some enemies that got here a little earlier, and they sort of have the front entrance blocked. So she has to interact with sort of this old mechanism in this particular setup and gain access to the back door of the tomb. Now I want you to notice how Lara's moving this time around. We wanted to make sure that we made her as controllable and responsive as possible. Previous Tomb Raider games, Lara moved very much like a tank. It would run, stop, rotate, run, stop, rotate, which is great for PlayStation 1, but not so great anymore. We've all grown up. So you can see we're using a real-time physics. Lara's weight, hold a pin, allowing her to swing and kick this device that's going to rotate and open up an entrance to the tombs. We wanted to use real-time physics not just for sort of its cool factor, but we wanted to have very realistic situations and setups where you could have predictable results. We also wanted to have a very dynamic environment. You can see wind is actually moving the rope. There's currents on the water. We really wanted to get that sense of here's a living, breathing world. Please explore it. We're going to take out our magnetic grappling hook. Anything metallic, she can throw the grappling hook at, pull it, drag it. See how it bobs with the water current there. She gives a good tug. That gives her enough of a bridge to make the jump to the rope. Big leap to the other side. You can see projected shadows coming off Lara. You do that up her and the enemies. Up ahead, quick silhouette of the enemy. She has a combat mode now, a lock mode, where it keeps the enemy and her on screen all at the same time, always. You never saw it coming. When you cycle targets, the camera will move to always keep your enemies on screen so you can see them. Now you see here we have these sort of traps and they're not moving. One of the secrets on this level is that there's an ancient power source that's powering all of this level. Lara needs to interact with it in order to open up options to explore. You see this water wheel spinning with the water hitting it. We'll cycle over to the right real quick. There's a second one which is sort of like locked. It has something to do with that pillar as part of the puzzle. What we wanted to do is move away from the classic puzzles which involved, oh, here's a switch and here's a block to push. We wanted to make puzzles and situations that were much more connected to our game environment, much more connected to the world, so it felt more realistic and gave you a chance to explore. In combat lock mode, Lara gets access to the flips and jumps that you're familiar with. You can do all in rolls and combat moves. You see our physics working on that box there. Now, not only did we want to make the controller very responsive, but we wanted Lara to be able to move through the world. Previous Tomb Raider games was very much 90-degree angles, very much on a grid. Everything was adjust, 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 jump. Now she has her own AI. She's aware of her arms, her legs, her weight. She can position her body to attach to things at various angles, various jump in on a turn, you see our AI try to run and take some cover. The turret is one of the immersive experience that doesn't break you out. So another thing we wanted to focus on heavily is camera. You can have the best game on the planet, but if you have a bad camera system, the game sucks. So we have a camera system that keeps Laura on the screen at all times, doesn't get caught up on odd angles, but also supports our gameplay goals, which is always keep the player in motion, always let the player know where they should end up, but then let the player figure out how to get there. So our camera always sort of gives you a hint of what direction. We don't want you to always have to stop, look around, move stuff. With a lot more risk. Jump there. Another thing that we want is to give the player the ability to keep Laura moving as quickly and simply as possible. So we don't want to have a lot of stop and go gameplay where you make a maneuver, stop, adjust, make a maneuver. Not that exciting. So you'll see here